You've been there. You're driving to work and you slam on your brakes as a driver on his cell phone cuts you off. Or maybe a teen driver, distracted by his friends, brakes suddenly to avoid missing the Taco Bell parking lot. The problem is safety. You need something to keep all drivers on the same page, like a reliable communication system, to avoid these scary situations. The same thing is true for cyclists. If you commute via bicycle to school or work, the feeling of safety on the road is a must. Ensuring safety for bike commuters is one of the big ideas behind the Firework Cycling Sensor. It's like a secret language connecting cyclists and drivers to enhance the commuter's experience. So let's meet Josh, who is preparing to ride his bike from San Luis Obispo to Cabo San Lucas upon graduation. This is a 1,338-mile ride, and road safety is Josh's main concern. In regards to safety, Josh has two main concerns: effectively monitoring his blind spot and maintaining a high level of visibility on the road at all hours of the day. Josh is tired of using mirrors, reflective clothing, and lights to maintain visibility, while still constantly turning his head to check his blind spot, which takes his eyes off the road and increases the potential for accidents. So then Josh found the Firework Cycling Sensor for monitoring his blind spot and alerting him of approaching cars. The colorful LED strip feedback mechanism alerts both Josh and passing drivers of each other's presence. By commuting with the Firework Cycling Sensor, Josh can feel like he knows when drivers are too close, and drivers will be aware and avoid hitting Josh. This way, Josh will arrive safely in Cabo to enjoy his summer of surfing and eating. As it turns out, Josh's trip to Cabo was a success, and he has safely ridden back to San Luis Obispo to work for his bike safety company. And because it works so well for travel, Josh made the Firework Cycling Sensor part of his daily commute, and now safety is less of a concern. Whether you're traveling the world, biking to school with your children, or merely cycling to meet friends for lunch, the Firework Cycling Sensor means you can stop worrying about remembering bike lights or getting hit by a drunk driver and get on with your next adventure. This is the Firework Cycling Sensor. So let's explore the details of our project. The Firework Cycling Sensor system combines a proximity sensor, a microcontroller, a feedback mechanism, and a powering device. The user requirements were as follows: price, weight, accuracy to 20 meters, aerodynamics, ease of fixing, long-lasting battery, aesthetically pleasing, durability, and element resistance. The requirements for this project were initially somewhat subjective, which caused some confusion later on. First prototype. Here we used an inexpensive, commonly available ultrasonic sensor to develop an understanding of interfacing sensors with our microcontroller. We chose to start with the ultrasonic sensor because the sensor is commonly used in DIY robotics projects, and information about its use is readily available online. Additionally, it was quite inexpensive, perfect for creating a proof-of-concept prototype. With a max range of 5 meters, this sensor could theoretically give us an indication of a car passing at a dangerous distance. For our microcontroller, we worked with the Arduino Uno because it was highly recommended by our peers for its utility, and there was a lot of open source information online about interfacing and coding. Arduino uses C-based programming language, which is easy to learn. Our feedback mechanism consisted of a red LED, a yellow LED, and a green LED. And we powered this proof-of-concept prototype with a 9-volt battery. Next, we coded the Arduino to read the distance values with the ultrasonic sensor and illuminate the LEDs based on the proximity of object. When we tested the accuracy of our proof-of-concept prototype outdoors, we understood why the ultrasonic sensor would not fit our needs. The readings from the ultrasonic sensor were unstable due to common environmental electrical noise, and because of this noise, the ultrasonic sensor was giving us proximity readings far less than our measured distances in the test. For this reason, we decided to identify a sensor with a signal much less susceptible to noise. Second prototype. Enter the lidar light by pulse light. The old way of detecting distance was by measuring the time of travel of the signal as it returns after bouncing off an object. Lidar light uses a unique optical signature that matches to a stored template, making the noise filtering an integral part of the sensor. This sensor replaces the ultrasonic sensor used in the previous prototype. Lidar light has a maximum theoretical range of 40 meters and a retail price of $89. While the sensor is expensive, safety was our main concern and reliable readings made the sensor worth the extra cost. We also replaced the 3 individual LEDs with a waterproof strip of 32 multicolor LEDs. And because of this increased size of our new feedback mechanism, the cyclist can see the color change in his peripheral vision without taking his eyes off the road in front of him. While we started with the assumption that feedback could help the cyclist know when the cars were too close, we decided that we could use the 1 meter long strip of LEDs to alert the cyclist and the driver of a dangerous passing situation. This is a schematic of the Prototype 2 setup. And next, we tested the usefulness of our new prototype. Test 1. Range and accuracy. For the first test, we determined the maximum range with accuracy of the lidar light. To find the experimental maximum range of the sensor, we moved a 4x6 whiteboard in 5 meter increments backward from the stationary prototype. The prototype was secured to the top of a 1 meter tall 4x4 wooden post. The prototype was placed at a height of 1 meter to simulate the device attached to the seat post of a bike. While the theoretical maximum range of the lidar was 40 meters, we were able to record data points until 45 meters. Test 2. Field of view. For our second test, we set out to measure the field of view for the lidar light. From an unofficial evaluation phase, the team determined the lidar light's field of view to be approximately 1.6 degrees. We wanted to verify this data against the specifications provided by pulse light in order to more accurately determine the field of view. Due to the narrow view, the angle at which we position the lidar light on the bicycle is critical to object detection. The experiment was designed to measure the field of view at each 5 meter increments from the sensor using a 4x6 whiteboard. The serial monitor would detect the board as it closed in towards the center of the field of view from both right and left. At each 5 meter increments, 6 data points were collected, 1 data point being both right and left, until we reached 30 meters, totaling 30 data points. Upon analyzing the recorded data, we calculated the field of view to be 1.28 degrees. This value was far lower than we had expected. At this point, our product was far less effective due to the fact that it is only detecting objects in such a small spread. The focused field of view may not detect objects in a large enough range, thus restricting its use. This was significant in determining the positional angle of the lidar light on a bicycle. This normality plot supports the validity of the resulting mean value of the field of view. In other words, the sensor consistently centered around the 1.28 degree value within the 95% confidence interval. At this point, the lack of objective requirements affected our ability to manage change. When our experiment results showed a very low field of view, we were unable to refer to our requirements to change our design. This risk was likely avoidable, but this was something that was purely an unforeseen issue, and thus we were unable to properly and swiftly change plans. Test 3. Lighting environments. For our third and final test, we tested the accuracy of the lidar in direct sunlight and shade. We chose to test the lidar outdoors to check how it handled environmental noise and moving vehicles. Because the team at Pulse Light had warned us of the possibility of inaccuracy of the lidar in low light situations, we decided to compare accuracy in direct sunlight to accuracy in the shade. From this final test, we were able to conclude the firework sensor could effectively detect moving vehicles. This chart summarizes the results of outdoor testing of the sensor setup. The sensor was directed at a specific location and angle facing oncoming traffic, while the monitor read specific distances at which the sensor detected motion. The sensor adequately tracked the approaching vehicles, and the LED subsequently lit up according to the reported measurements. Under sunlight, the sensor detected 98% of all vehicles, and under shade, 93%. Recommendations. After working on the project for the last 9 months, we learned a number of lessons about product development and team dynamics. Our recommendations are as follows. Create system-level objective requirements early and reference them in every design decision. create individual and team milestones for the project and hold each other accountable, practice completing tasks at meetings by creating subtasks, as small victories can boost morale, schedule fun activities monthly to give the team a chance to play, learn to balance delegation and collaboration, and finally, play to individual strengths. Future plans. Our future plans to increase the usefulness of our product include using a diffractive beam splitter, which potentially widens the field of view by diffracting an optical beam, but also decreases the maximum range, using multiple lighter lights to work in conjunction, installing a shock absorber at the attachment to increase the lifespan, performing a customer development process to find out what the commuters desire, and incorporating weatherproofing for rain, fog, and snow. This is the Firework Cycling Sensor.
I didn't know. I broke everything new again, everything that I'd owned. I threw it out the windows, came along. Extreme waves I know will part the colors of my sea. Perfect color me. Extreme waves that helped me out late at night. Extreme places I had gone, but never seen any light. Dirty basements, dirty noise.